Hi, I'm Adam Rossin from the Rossin Law Firm, and on today's video, we're going to show you body-worn camera videos from Pembroke Pines Police Department trying to serve a risk protection order. So let's talk about a risk protection order. What a risk protection order is basically it's a restraining order to take your guns away. This was passed in 2018 after the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School shooting, and there's many problems with this law. First of all, it was passed very hastily, and it really takes away a lot of due process from our clients and gives a lot of power to the police. And in this particular case, Pembroke Pines police officers went to our client's house to serve a risk protection order against our client, the mother, and our client, the high school minor child. There was an incident and with having access to guns, and they came to serve both of them with this civil restraining order.
Yeah, you're going to have, this is a civil, this has nothing to do with the criminal case. Let me just explain that to you. Okay. This is specifically the city against the fact that you currently own firearms and have access to firearms and are not responsibly keeping them locked in a safe and preventing your daughter from having access to the firearms. So this is a civil order. It's a restraining order basically against firearms, ammunition, and your concealed weapons permit. This has nothing to do with the criminal case. This is something in addition. So you don't have to answer any questions. You don't have to tell us anything about the civil case. This is specifically a risk protection order. That's a restraining order against firearms, ammunition, and your concealed weapons permit. So that's why you would have to sign accepting the fact that you have a final hearing where you can have somebody like a legal attorney or a lawyer represent you at the final hearing that's going to be in about 14 days. So you're just accepting that you're getting your court date. That's what you're signing, essentially, saying that you're accepting your court date.
The problem, or the issue is that we were already retained, meaning we had already represented the mother and the child. And Susan Lawson from my office, who is a board-certified criminal trial law expert, was the one working on the case. And when you watch the video, you hear her on the phone speaking to the police officers.
Ms. Ford, you can accept servicing, saying you received, but you're not agreeing to anything in there.
Okay. You're not agreeing to the stipulations, but she'll...
Okay, so by signing that you have a final hearing, you obviously wouldn't be agreeing to it. You're agreeing that you're going to go to the hearing is basically what you're signing, saying that you received your court date and you're going to go to the hearing. If you don't go to the hearing, just so you know, the judge is going to grant the order for the 12-month time.
And the total encounter is about 45 minutes long. We're not going to show you the entire counter on there, but we're going to have different clips from this video. And what you're going to see is the police officer over and over again telling our client, well, your lawyers don't have your best interest in mind.
Just so you know, you can't decline receiving. You're being served essentially with a civil order from a judge.
I'm going to receive it, but
you have to sign saying that you received it because
wait. Sorry.
Okay, but if you don't sign, you're going against the judge's orders. The judge is requiring you to sign saying you received your court date. You have to sign accepting your court date.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know this attorney is going to mess you up.
Okay.
They're not doing what's in your best interest. At least, I hate lying, I'm sorry. At least sign accepting your court date.
Just sign the paperwork, ma'am, sign the paperwork. And they keep telling her that it's not an admission of guilt and it's not, all she has to, that it's not going to be counted against her. All she has to do is sign the paperwork to get her court date, right? Seems innocent enough, doesn't it? And when you watch the video without having full context, it seems like, well, why would Susan and our attorneys be so adamant and distrusting of the police, right? They continually say, just sign the papers. It's really easy. It's not, you can still fight it later, right?
I would like to see it before I have her sign it.
We can't, it's an injunction. This is a court order from a judge. She has to sign this. She has to sign saying she has a final hearing in 14 days, and I'm going to give you that date. But essentially, that's when you can prepare everything for her and represent her and say all the reasons why she doesn't meet the needs for a final order of 12 months.
And Susan's adamant about wanting to see it. Well, why don't the police officers show it, right? They refuse. She's adamant about being on FaceTime and being able to read it and being able to be part of every single piece of the process to view exactly what our client's going to sign.
Can the attorneys accept service on her behalf?
No, we cannot, because the whole thing behind the risk protection order is that she is served with it and that she is in compliance with the order.
Now, to me, that seems reasonable enough. But the police, they don't want it. They don't want her to do that. They want to do their things. Well, why, right? Why? Well, take a look at the video and look at what our clients actually signed at the end of the video when the police officer basically cuts out the body-worn camera and says to our client, look, your attorneys are hurting you. They're making this worse. Let's just kind of talk person to person, and click, and the body camera goes off. And our client, hangs up the phone with our attorneys. So it makes you wonder.
Just so you know, they're making it worse. I'm going to go on.
We're going to show you exactly what our client signed. And what our client signed was an agreement, a joint stipulation and agreement to accept not just the court date, but the full restraining order against her. So she was tricked by the police over and over and over again. So our firm's distrustment of the Pembroke Pines Police Department was validated and was there because they lied to our client, they tricked our client into signing these papers to avoid or prevent the hearing, so we couldn't even fight it, right? So when you look at everything in a whole, this was shadiness, this was lies from the police department, and it should be noted, one of the papers that they had our client sign was something saying that she had the opportunity to review the paperwork with the lawyer of her choosing. Well, I think the body-worn camera evidence shows that it's not that that was not true. That's a bald-faced lie. Bald-faced lie by police that are supposed to serve and protect and be honest to people. So our board-certified attorney's concerns were completely validated. Tell us what you think in the comments below, and let me tell you what happened with the case. So after the case, basically the next day we got the paperwork and we said, what is this? They tricked and lied to our client. So we pulled the body-worn camera. We called and spoke with the legal department from Pembroke Pines Police Department. They actually didn't want to give us the body camera, so we had to file a motion in front of the judge to get access to the body camera. The judge was furious, absolutely furious with Pembroke Pines Police Department, and basically said, hey, if those attorneys' allegations are true, you folks have some big time explaining to do. Right? So you hear about in the video the police officer tricking our client and basically saying, ooh, the judge is going to be mad at you and mad at your lawyers. Not true at all. And the judge granted our request to get the body-worn cameras. We got the body-worn cameras. It completely validated what Susan and our other attorney David knew and what they heard while being on speakerphone. And then we filed a motion to vacate this entire restraining order. We did it. It was granted. We also filed internal affairs complaints that are pending against those officers because those officers need to be held accountable because it's situations like this that erode the public trust when we're talking about law enforcement. So this is why we put this video here. I want you to, like, comment, tell us what you think, send these videos to your friends because people need to know about what the Pembroke Pines Police Department is doing to our citizens in South Florida on these risk protection orders.